Hey y'all, welcome back to Neon's Movie Reviews. I'm Neon, this is my review channel. Today I'm going to be talking about Andrew Bergman's It Could Happen to You. Before I dive into that though, I just want to say, if you enjoy my content, please give this video a like, really helps out the channel. And we are a couple weeks into the Summer of Nic Cage right now. I still have a couple more weeks to go through. I'm going to be doing a daily release cycle of Nic Cage movies. And yeah, if you want to see a lot more content like that, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to be notified, go ahead and hit the little bell in the corner. But it could happen to you. So I just saw this for the first time. I literally just turned it off. Just came into film. This is a very odd film. You don't see films like this made anymore. This is a very sweet movie. There are some parts that it does get a little more serious, and I wouldn't say dark, but it does get more serious. But all in all, it was just a really lighthearted, fun movie. Basic concept is you've got Nic Cage. He plays this really, really nice, good policeman named Charlie, and he's married to Rosie Perez, who's just this money-hungry woman. When she's introduced, she's basically saying to one of her friends that her husband, if at the very least, if he was on the take, if he was a dirty cop, there could be maybe she could see some ambition in him. But he's just doing his job. He's being a legal cop, doing everything by the book, and he's got no ambition, and that's how she sees him. And he's very much just like, I'm a policeman. Like, we make enough money. Like, we can start a family. We're fine. And she's just always wanting, the riches. And one day she sends him out to go get a lottery ticket. While he's out, he stops off at a diner. It doesn't have enough money to leave a tip to pay his tab. So basically tells the waitress, the character is Yvonne, played by Bridget Fonda, and it basically tells her that, like, hey, I'll be back tomorrow, and to give you your tip. If this ticket wins, I'll split. I'll give you half of it. If it doesn't win, I'll double the tip that I was going to give you. And wins. Him and his wife win $4 million, and he goes to the diner and informs Bridget Fonda that she's won $2 million. And she's kind of flabbergasted by this. Like, literally the day prior when he first met her, before coming into work, she had literally gone bankrupt due to credit card debt incurred by her husband, played by Stanley Tucci. Not a big role in the movie, but a really, really fun character. And of course, blossom starts happen. Love starts blossoming between these characters, and yeah, it plays out for the most part the way you'd expect. The Rosie Perez and Nic Cage, they start drifting apart because of all the money that's come in, and she's all focused on money, and he's wanting to give the money away, be charitable with it, and she just wants to buy everything, invest it, all this. That's all she cares about. And yeah, it's a really, really fun movie. I don't want to go too much into spoilers. This is a movie that I didn't know too much about, but just knew the basic concepts. So that's really all I'll talk about here. But would highly recommend this. This is just a solid, fun, lighthearted, sweet movie. I really, really enjoyed this. I'd give this an 8 out of 10. It's directed by Andrew Bergman, who when I saw his name pop up in the opening credits, I got very excited because he's the director of The Freshman, which if you have not seen that movie, I would highly recommend to see that movie. I will definitely be talking about that in the near future. It's one of my favorite comedies. But so yeah, I was very excited when I saw his name pop up, and but when the film began, it came off very differently than I was anticipating. We're introduced to not a narrator, but there's this There is a character that's practically the narrator. He keeps popping up throughout the film. He's kind of like the genie character in Aladdin. You know, he's there at the beginning, pops up throughout, and then bookends the whole story. And so the film right off the bat, it's kind of got this weird tale, weird feel to it, and with everybody just being so charismatic, the two leads being so sweet and positive, and it felt very much like a Cary Grant, Audrey Hepburn love story. It did not feel like a movie made in the 90s. It felt like something made in the 40s or the 50s, and I total praise on that. Like, I really miss films like that. They're it's sad that they're not made anymore. We could use some happiness, but yeah, that's gonna wrap it up on that side of things. One quick note about this: I did find out that this is a true story. While some of the stuff was happening in the film, I was just like, they changed some things, but I'm pretty sure this is a true story. I remember hearing about this, and they did change some details. They ended up winning $6 million, so he split that. So the waitress ended up getting $3 million. And then there was no love story between them. They both stayed happily married with their spouses for many, many years. So a little bit of Hollywood thrown in, but for the most part, like, the basis of the story is true. But and then there is one thing I do want to talk about, and then I'll talk about that in the spoiler section. But one other thing, this film was originally called, like, the working title for it was "Cop Gives Waitress $2 Million Tip." And I know Ebert and Siskel. I was checking out their original review for this. They both really liked this movie. Liked this movie. But they were talking about how, like, they shot themselves in the foot with this film by not sticking with that original title, and how it would have done, it would have been so much more direct, would have gotten people's interest a lot more than It Could Happen to You. And while I agree that It Could Happen to You is not necessarily the best title for this movie, I don't think Cop Gives Waitress $2 million Tip is an exciting movie title. Like, I understand what they're playing off of, all the news articles and everything that this story was based off of that are, integral to the way the story develops is something that I really like, is how the newspaper is involved. And it all bookends very nicely as well. It all comes together in the end, which was very satisfying. But, yeah, a lot of people, from what I was reading online about this, a lot of people do feel it should have been called that, and I really don't think that would have done well. Also found out that Arnold Schwarzenegger was up for the lead on this originally, and then he ended up passing to go do Last Action Hero. Very, very happy about that. Like, I would have been curious to see what this would have been like with Arnold Schwarzenegger, but much happier that he went off and did Last Action Hero. I love that movie. This is a very good role for Nic Cage and Bridget Fonda. They have a lot of chemistry together. But that's gonna wrap it up. I do have one thing I want to talk about on the spoiler side, so I'm gonna get into that right now. If you have not seen this, would recommend not watching this part, because this is pretty much the only thing that can be spoiled about this movie. But so as the story progresses, obviously the love story between the two leads starts kicking off, and Rosie Perez, she ends up kicking Nic Cage out, tells him she wants a divorce, and so he goes to the plaza. Right before then, you see Bridget Fonda getting into a fight with her current husband, who they're separated, played by Stanley Tucci. He basically forces himself back into her life, trying to basically asking for money so that he can go off on some adventure. And so she leaves, and they both wind up at the plaza. And their rooms are adjacent to one another. And one thing leads to another. They end up spending the night together. It's this very sweet scene. But the way that ends up playing is very different from what I expected. So Rosie Perez, she hires a lawyer played by Richard Jenkins, which was such a fun surprise to have in this. He's fucking hilarious in this, as everything, but it was really good in this. But yeah, there's this massive court trial where blowing everything, bringing up everything, basically saying that there was an affair going on long before the money was given. That's why the money was given. And basically Rosie Perez is fighting for not only her half of their share of it, but also the half that was given to Bridget Fonda. And that's roughly the last third of the movie is just dealing with this trial, which is kind of what I was talking about, where it got more serious than I was anticipating it to go. But really, really good stuff. Really, really fun. Everybody gets good moments throughout. Like nobody has a weak character. Everybody has their moment to shine. Several moments to shine. It was just all in all really, really satisfying film. Yeah, as I said, 8 out of 10. Highly recommend this. If you've seen this, let me know what you thought of this. Did it work for you? Was it too sweet? Was it like I'm actually very curious to see what other people think of this. But yeah, for me this was a nice surprise. Really did not expect much going in, and I was happily surprised by this one. But that's gonna wrap this up. I've got, as I said in the beginning, got a lot more of these reviews coming out. I'm going to be watching Trespass next, another Joel Schumacher film, or a collaboration between them, and that should be coming out tomorrow. And then, yeah, got a lot more after that. But thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate this, and that's going to wrap this up. Thanks all.